I think we can all accept that stress is normal. Like it's part of the human experience. But what about stress around food, stress with food, being stressed about what you're eating, when you're eating, how much you're eating? Is that normal to live that way? Let's talk about it. Welcome to the Intuitive Eating Mama podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer D'Amato. I am an intuitive eating counselor and I'm also a mom to four. This podcast is not just for mamas, it's for all women who are ready to ditch diets, ditch the scale and food guilt forever, and instead invite peace with food, increase their body trust, and confidence in all of her choices. I believe this show is going to shed some light on sneaky ways diet culture has infiltrated your thoughts, your family, and your well-being. No matter the episode, I want you to walk away feeling informed, inspired, and encouraged. So whether you're taking a walk, washing the dishes, or carting kids around, let's dive into the latest episode on the Intuitive Eating Mama podcast. If food stress has become a norm for you, like this is part of the normal stress of humans, right? Like we're stressed about finances or we're stressed about, I don't know, what we're going to wear to that meeting or, we're stressed about, our kids' schooling and their grades or whatever it is, we're stressed. And we think it's normal to throw in the stress bucket to be stressed about food. This one might be a bit of a challenge for you. Because I am here to tell you, stress around food is not normal. I don't know. I even hate that word, but it's what I'm going with. Like the word normal. But can we just go with it for right now and just say stress around food is not normal, meaning this is a widely accepted belief that does not need to exist. Why are we stressed around food? Like, where does that originate? Now, I asked that question, and for you, you might go, oh, it's because all I watched was my mom be stressed around everything she ate. Or I've done so many diets, of course I'm stressed around food. I think these are two areas that really can impact our stress level around food. But even if neither of those is you've experienced, right? Your mom, you didn't notice that, or it wasn't a big thing, or you've really not done a lot of restrictive dieting, but you feel stressed around food. The last 10 years, I can see how that would have increased. What changed over the last 10 years? Information. Information is so readily available, and not good information, not helpful information, not true information. Literally at our fingertips all the time is someone talking about food, what you should be eating, when you should be eating, like how many hours a day you should allow yourself to eat, how much you should be eating, how you should be tracking it, what food shouldn't be allowed, what food should be allowed. Of course, there's going to be stress. Have you ever thought about like the impact of stress on your life? Now, I'm talking in a general sense. I mean, stress about food, again, we've lumped it into this stress bucket. Stress has an impact on your health. One of the elements in my intuitive health reboot is relearning. And when I talk about relearning, it's relearning what is health. We talk about health and weight as if they're the same, like in our society. Definitely not in the work I do. We actually work on separating those two. And when you start actually defining your health, something I want you to leave the Intuitive Health Reboot group coaching with, like I want you to have that, is you might start noticing when it comes to your health, you want to address the chronic stress you have, that you have ways to manage it, you have ways to reduce it, you have ways to eliminate it. Because when you start focusing on your health, you can focus on reducing stress. And of course, I'm a huge advocate for having no stress when it comes to food. Now, I can't I can't take away the stress of the cost of it right now. If I could, I absolutely would. But what I can do is help you reduce and eliminate the stress you have when it comes to, well, what should I eat? How much should I eat? Am I eating the right foods? Am I getting enough food? I help specifically with stress around food because, again, I'm coming from this place. I want to be very clear. Stress with food is not normal. And the only stress I would say would, be categorized as normal is the stress I experience when I go to the grocery store and I'm shopping for a family of 6 and I'm like, hot dang, the cost is a lot. Now, of course, you can eliminate some of the factors, the things that are causing the stress, like social media influencers, like those spouting just information that is harmful, inaccurate, and not helpful to you. Like you as an individual, this is causing you stress. Block, delete, unfollow, mute, whatever feels good. You don't need to listen to all of that, especially if it's increasing your stress. And the truth is, you probably need to address if there's deeply rooted beliefs, food rules, food police in your head, your mother's old voice, the diet's old voice, those things ringing around. You probably need to address those to reduce the stress. Again, something that we will do together in the intuitive health reboot. Like this is the work I do, is addressing those. Part of the relearning part of your health is really addressing the thoughts. Now, as an intuitive eater, I can tell you, I know the difference. Like I literally can feel into it, even as I'm talking about it, of how stressed I was. First, before it got completely disordered orthorexia, I was stressed about all the things I hear all the time. I'm stressed about like, what should I eat? How much should I be eating? Am I eating too much? Am I eating too little? It was just so overwhelmed, stressed because I had tried every diet out there. And then, of course, with disordered eating and orthorexia, the stress was amplified to a whole other level. Of course, it's why my hair was falling out. My poor hormones are a mess. My sleep was a wreck. My sex drive was a mess. Like everything was affected. Stress has an impact on your overall health and well-being. Maybe you already are noticing that. And like I said, I can feel into that difference. As an intuitive eater, I really have no stress when it comes to food. I just don't experience, am I having enough? I trust my body. Should I be eating this? I trust my body. I trust myself. I talk about food peace. It really is the opposite of food stress. One of the things you could do right now is ask yourself, what would my life look like if I didn't stress about food? What would it look like, feel like on a daily basis if I wasn't thinking about what I was eating, how much I was eating, when I was eating? What would you experience living in the contrast of that? When those thoughts didn't consume your mind, when you weren't, constantly thinking about it every time you took a bite of food. What if the stress was gone and you honored your hunger? I hear this all the time from women. Like when that stress about the food is gone, they're like, wait a minute, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat. Oh, I have all this other energy. I feel good. Like it's amazing how different I feel. What if that was you? Now, I have a couple of things I want to share with you in regards to that. Number one, my intuitive health reboot is open to you. How do you join us this fall? Super easy. You can either head into the show notes and click apply for the Intuitive Health Reboot, or you can head to the intuitiveatingmama.com/group coaching. There's going to be a button on there that says start here. It's going to take you to the application, and that's it. I'll be in touch. It's that simple. It's that simple to start the process of removing stress with food. Like literally even taking that action, that's what women have said, like knowing they're doing something actively to remove food stress, that is a game changer. theintuitiveeatingmama.com/group coaching. Click start here or just head right into the show notes. Now, I said I have one other thing I want to mention before we're done here, and I don't want you to miss this. So I know you probably want to go click that button, head into the application, but I want to make sure I tell you this. I am in shock. I don't know why, because I do this all the time. I've been doing this for years now, but I'm ending another season of the podcast. How is that possible? A year has gone by. So, because it's been another year, another season, going into season 5, I was like, I want to do something special. And then I saw not only will it be season 5, it's episode 200 coming. Episode 200. That's a lot of Jen talking. That's actually coming up in a couple of episodes. You may see right here, this is episode 198. So I decided I am going to do something epic. I'm going to do something really big for episode 200, season 5, to celebrate you. Yeah, I mean, I'm celebrating me doing the podcast, but really the only reason I'm celebrating me is because you listen, because you're here, because you tune in, you subscribe. Like, I want to celebrate that. So I'm working on an amazing giveaway, and I cannot wait to share on episode 200. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you've marked it like Jen's going to be talking about this on episode 200. Don't want to miss out on it. It's going to be amazing. More details to come. All right, I can't wait to see your applications come in. I will be in touch. We'll talk about what group coaching in the Intuitive Health Reboot looks like for you. And we're going to end this year without food stress. You're going to start 2024 like not experiencing overwhelm and stress with food. How freaking awesome is that? Think about it for a minute. All those messages about dieting are going to come at you starting in freaking November. Can we be honest how soon that starts? And you're going to be like, okay, what's your point? I'm not involved with this anymore. Ooh. Well, just the idea of that gets me so excited. All right, can't wait to see you in there. Can't wait to have you right back here again next week.